Good morning and a warm welcome to this WIFTI worldwide webinar. I say good morning because I'm in Sweden, but I also know that we have participants both from US and of course from Bhutan. And I'm so proud of this webinar of our newly started chapter with Bhutan. It's a big joy for me as president to welcome these fantastic ladies, and I'm happy to hand over the word to Karma Deki, the president of WIFT Bhutan. Enjoy the webinar, everyone. And you can write your questions in the Q&A fields because there will be time for you to ask questions. So please write your questions. The word is yours, Karma. So welcome to start.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you, Helena and Regina for this opportunity that the WIFT International have given WIFT Bhutan this platform to be on the international women empowering in film and television. So thank you so much, and thank you to our panelists from Bhutan, Namge, Nima, and Sonam. Thank you so much for contributing your time and your interest in this women empowering event, and which strengthens the Bhutanese women in a filmmaking industry. So thank you so much, and I'm president of WIFT Bhutan, and I welcome everyone who are online waiting for our conversation. So thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
And so, yeah, and it was my confusion. It's morning in Sweden, and of course Karma is the president, but our moderator today is Namgai Sam. So welcome to the floor, Namgai, to moderate this panel.
Thank you so much, Helene, and Karma Deki. Thanks for roping me in to moderate this panel today. I think I said yes when Sonam is my cousin. She asked me, and I was like, what is this about? So she sent me this little blurb about what WIFT is and what WIFT Bhutan intends to do. Helene and other people who have joined in, other women who have joined in for this panel, as Bhutanese, we just want to share that it's such an auspicious day today. And I think Karma Deki chose this day for a specific reason. It's the birthday of His Majesty the King, our King. So it's a wonderful day, and it's an auspicious start to WIFT Bhutan. I'm so glad to be sharing this panel with three amazing women. Karma Deki, who's been a pioneer, then Sonam, who's also been a fantastic documentary filmmaker venturing into films, and Nimazam, a trailblazer, who started an OTT platform, the first in Bhutan, and is so successful. I'm so glad to bring this conversation to you. Just a brief background, because not everybody may know Karma Deki. She is actually Bhutan's first female director. Like I was saying, she's a pioneer in her field. Not only does she direct, she wears many hats. She edits, produces, writes scripts. She was acting as well. I think in the days when it wasn't even in an industry, what we call an industry right now. It's still a small industry. More than 3 decades of experience in this field. So Karma Deki is a wealth of information, knowledge, and experience, and I'm looking forward to learning from her today on this panel. With Karma Deki, we have Sonam Yangzon. So she is one of the few. We have very few women filmmakers in Bhutan, and this is, I think, one of the reasons why Karma Deki felt so strongly about starting a chapter in Bhutan as well, a WIFT chapter in Bhutan. So Sonam is a videographer, video editor. She's a director as well as a documentary filmmaker. She's devoted most of her career to filmmaking. I know that for a fact as well. She made this really interesting documentary called The Curse, which also won the best documentary in from the American Academy of Neurology in 2016. It won 2 best documentary awards, and she's made several others as well, and ventured into filmmaking just recently on the SAMO platform, which is led by Onimazam. So she's a trailblazer again. And just to give a brief bio of Ozam, she's the founder and CEO of SAMO, the first of its kind OTT platform in Bhutan. She is a communication and media specialist with more than 2 decades of experience in media as well. We were colleagues formerly at the national broadcaster, Bhutan Broadcasting Service. So I left BBS before she did, and now Ozam's left and then started this. She's worked a lot with communications with the UN as well as the Tourism Council of Bhutan. So we have 3 women with similar but diverse experiences here today, and it really representative, I think, of a women in filmmaking in Bhutan. So it's exciting to have somebody who's a trailblazer like Ozam to show us what the future of Bhutan could look like in filmmaking, and for Bhutanese, what roles do women have to play in filmmaking and in Bhutan. So Karmadiki, let's bring you in now and let's start. We know that I can't imagine what it must have been like for you when you first started. Very few women in the industry. What was it like for you when you first started? I mean, you've had 3 decades of experience. We had our first film, in 1989 it was? And
Yes.
right after that, you entered the film industry too. So what was it like then, and what changes have you seen?
Okay. Thank you so much for your wonderful introductions about me, and I'm very encouraged and inspired that the young women and also many youth, they when they say they look up to me and then they talk about so wonderful things about me, it's like, again, it feels like I have to learn more, like to be to take all these compliments. So this is a big responsibilities for me always. Like whenever I receive such a a highly respect as a filmmaker. I mean, so yeah, thank you for everything. I mean, all these compliments. And yes, in 1989, I started my career in the film industry as an actress. That time I was in the school, so we don't know that much about the Bhutanese, as an actor, and as an actress on the big screen, because we have been watching only the Bollywoods on the big screen, and then we never can imagine, like, okay, Bhutanese coming on a big screen, and it was a very, very new world to us. And then yes, we started as a drama, as a theater actor. So from there, we started a career in a motion pictures. I think that was a Delo Karmawangzin. So that was a drama before the motion pictures. So then it was converted into a film. So from there, it was a journey into this film industry as an actress. So from that period of time and until now, I think there has been very, very big changes actually, in terms of performing, and in terms of the technical. I mean, comparing to 1989, and now it's 2022, and I see within this period of time, I have seen a very generations of industry where we are leading to a very advanced level. So that was my experiences in the industry. And as a female, I never felt like I'm quite dependent on someone to learn how to make films and how to study about film. But it was my own interest. It was within me, and I was never dependent. So I'm very adventurous, and I'm very hardworking. So I always explore myself to learn personally, like, okay, how about, first I started as an acting. Okay. Then after that, okay, I want to become a director. So that then to direct the film, I need more educations on the technical technical side. So then I started my own sponsoring myself, I mean, to become a film student. And then from there, I have directed few films. And now at the moment, I'm a student at Full Sail University studying entertainment business management, because now we know how to make films. We know, I already have experience about acting. And now after you know all this process, and then you have a product in your hand as a filmmaker, and then now we don't have such platforms where you can put up your work. And now I think Samo Nimazam has introduced this OTT platform. It wasn't there before when we were doing films. Like, so for now I mean, youth are very lucky that we have this platform in Bhutan itself, where they can showcase and they can survive, you know, with their work. But for us in 2016, I came to United States with a film in my hand, and I don't even know where to market the film. That was an individual journey to the West. So that was a challenging, the most, the very tough challenges that I have faced. So that made me take this course, entertainment business management, because then you have to groom yourself as a creative, how to create, be a creative presentations with your own product. And then also you have to know where are the platforms that where you can launch your Bhutanese film, because there were not many of us who have come beyond the Bhutan border. So these were all the challenges that I have faced. There are so many things that I won't be able to talk within this period, you know, like in this session. So I think I have covered up many of my challenges in the film. It's called Mountain to Oceans. So this has a story of a woman journey to the West with her film, and then the challenges that she have faced from, you know, the distributor with a distributor. You know, we have to start first with the contract sign. Like we don't even know like where our movie is gone, and how to protect your copyrights, and where your movie is screened, where your movie is sold, and which platform. And for me, it was so new from 1989 that we can't imagine ourselves on the big screen, and 2016 where your movie is everywhere. There were articles about your movie and you don't even know where this was happening. And you know, that was all my challenges. Like I still face these challenges, that I really want to know, okay, where are the platforms where our production is, you know, I mean, they are screening our film. Or like Amazon, we don't even know, like, okay, Amazon, how the collection is made and what are the criteria that we have to fulfill with them. So there are so many things that I am interested to learn through this course. And yeah, so that's all about me for now. And then joining WIFT has opened another you know, like a door for me, because then I have women who are already experienced in this field as a woman filmmaker, who have challenged in men dominated world. Okay, so then I have somebody somewhere, you know, in any part of the world that I can go with my questions. So that's how I was trying to look for a way, or mentor, or somebody who can guide me to this a business in entertainment. So then I found WIFT, and I wrote to Helena and Regina, you know, like if there is any way that Bhutan can participate as a member, so that, you know, we can learn from their resources, their with connecting with the other WIFT in the other part of the world. So then it becomes easier for a filmmaker like me, and I think many of others, that we can collaborate so many things, and then we can share so many resources that a newcomer can come up on this platform. So as an individual, for me, it was a very challenging, and there are so many things that that I have faced in life, which I see that that WIFT, becoming a WIFT member, So we have many other women that we share the same views and same voice over this entertainment business.
Less so. Thanks for giving us this broad, I think, background to filmmaking in Bhutan via your own experience. I mean, we've really advanced, like Okamatiki was sharing. I mean, of course, distributorship and all of that, marketing, branding is still a hazy area for most of us in Bhutan. But I mean, talking about advancements, we have a Bhutanese film that's nominated for an Oscar. We have Lunana Ayak in the classroom.
Yes, yes.
Imagine so, like 1989, and then we're here in 2022, and then look at like what's happened within this
Yes.
3 decades, right? Oh, like
Yes.
it's like how
Yes.
far we've come. But so glad that O has this platform, and you're inviting other women to come on board, so that even women, who knows, it could be a women director at the Oscars the next time. So I'm looking forward to that. Let me bring in Sonam now. So Sonam's really made quite a few documentaries. We don't actually have a lot of female documentary filmmakers in Bhutan. So tell us about your journey. How did you decide that, you wanted to make documentaries, that you want to get into film? What is it that made you decide you wanted to do this?
Thank you, Namge. And thank you, Ma'am Kamadiki, for inviting me and asking me to join WIFT Bhutan. And I'm really excited about it. Can you hear me? Okay, all right. And when I was working with Bhutan Times as a journalist, and then while writing articles, I realized that the people that I reach is only the educated lot, and I wanted to reach out to the nook and corners of Bhutan. And while doing, my dad is a filmmaker, and then he inspired me to get into films, because documentaries can be reached, documentaries made in our local language can be heard by many people and watched by many people. So that way I started making documentary films after 2000, after I resigned from Bhutan Times. And making documentary films, it's not really, I mean, easy, because you even if you have a subject in mind, you want to do if you decide on a topic, and then to make that film, you need budget and all that, and it's not really easy for any documentary filmmakers to just go and do it. You need money to do it, and then to get budget, it's quite difficult until and unless it's like commissioned from the government. So
But you still persisted. I mean, despite having to source funds, I think this is something that's a challenge for many people in the film industry, funding, right? But I mean, despite, having to work hard to get funding, you've still persisted. I mean, it's been what, more than a decade of you being in documentary filmmaking, no?
Yes, I've been making documentary films for 12 years now. I started making documentary films when I gave birth, after I gave birth to my first son. So my son is 12 years old, and then I'm still making documentary films, and I hope that my journey, will grow stronger like him. And because when I go to a field to make documentaries and all that, since I'm a mom, I have to think about my 3 sons. I'm like, where will I keep them, no? And being a woman documentary filmmaker, not just women documentary, but any woman filmmaker, I'm sure they'll have to think a lot about their domestic care. I mean, I always have to schedule my time based on my kids' schedule, of course, and my husband's schedule, because he'll have to stay in place and replace me. So it's always been my time is always like related to their time. It's never like, I have this topic, I'll go and shoot. It can never be like when I want it. It has to be like, when I can, if my son and my husband is available to look after my sons, and then I can just go and shoot. Yeah.
The challenges of a working mother. I completely empathize after becoming a mom myself. Otherwise, before I'd be like, yeah, okay, maybe I understand what you're telling me. But now I'm like, I totally get you. So now I'm like having to prioritize your time and then to really, what do you call it? Your responsibility, share it with your partners. So, I mean, there's something I didn't share prior, but both Sonam Yangsom and Yimazama, like, I think Okarma Diki too, very good at multitasking. I think you guys are like fantastic examples of how wonderful women can be. And I know Ozam had like a full-time job in BBS and she's got kids too at home, but then she's pursuing a bachelor's degree while she's working, and now she has a master's in communication, you know. And I'm like, how did these women do it now? Especially because I've become a mother myself, and I'm like, wow, this like really hats off. You know, earlier you would just say things like this, but now like I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. Look at Okarma Diki too. Like she's again pursuing a degree. It's always about improving yourself. There's a lot of self-improvement, but the amount of commitment, Ozam, like let's bring you in now. I mean, I've literally followed your career trajectory, and then now you have trailblazed. I mean, people are not saying Netflix and chill. People are saying Samu and chill, because like, you know, it's such a pleasing thing, right?
The
Like
Bhutan Netflix, yes.
exactly. Like we didn't have this option like for everybody joining from outside. So Samu, it's a streaming service, so it's the Bhutanese equivalent to Netflix, but Samu really came in with a bang, and they've really supported as well as bolstered local production. I want to bring in Ozam. Tell us about this OTT journey of yours and how it is that you decided I want to do something like this in Bhutan.
You know, for me, I think it started because I'll have to say the inspiration definitely came from Netflix. You know, when I was doing my master's in Australia, that was the first time I actually tried Netflix. And I really was like very excited about watching a lot of content at so much ease. But more than that, you know, I was intrigued of how it worked in the back end, you know, the kind of collaboration that they must have, and what does it mean to the entire sector. And, you know, I have to share with you guys that while I was doing my master's, I actually read like 23 case studies just on Netflix, how they operate. So it was, you know, I think I was doing my own case study for Bhutan at the moment, you know. And when I came back, because I'd worked for traditional media all my life, but digital was becoming quite, it was really becoming a big thing in Bhutan as well. We had a lot of people on social media, a lot of digital users in Bhutan. So, and then at the same time, there was a lot of challenge for filmmakers in Bhutan because there was a lack of platforms. Like even right now, in this time, we just have very limited theaters. In Thimphu, we have 3 theaters, that's the capital. And then, you know, the total capacity is 1,000 people in the 3 theaters. And across the country, filmmakers literally had to travel around the country, taking their films, you know, physically with them, and that meant that the turnaround time was around 18 months to 2 years to get back their returns. So,
Yes, true.
even though, you know, the film industry was over 2 decades old, I realized, you know, that the sector was not being able to grow because of all its challenges. And when I came back home, I really was excited about doing a digital platform. But at the time, I thought that, you know, the best people to do it would be a company like, you know, the one I was working for, the Bhutan Broadcasting Service, because they already had the national reach and then also the capacity. But I realized, you know, that at that point, BBS was not ready to go on digital. And I really felt that if we don't do it right now, you know, we would be losing even more opportunity. And why I felt that very strongly was also because a lot of young people were increasingly watching foreign content. You know, they really didn't watch much of our local content. And that meant that, you know, the longer we keep them away from local content, they would develop a taste for international content and would never enjoy our content. So the moment was now. And so when we started Samu, it was not easy. Like I've shared, I think many times, it was not easy. The biggest thing was getting the funding sorted. Starting a platform like this meant a huge amount of investment. And, you know, I don't really come from a family of money. I've just had a corporate job all my life. And with raising a family on top of that, I didn't have much savings as well. So I really had to push myself to work really hard at securing funding. And I think it was luck. We were very lucky that number one, you know, that we were in Bhutan, where even during, you know, the height of the pandemic, new initiatives were being launched by the government and through, you know, to the command of His Majesty the King. So I had this project in mind and I really needed the investments for it. And then, the government launched the National Credit Guarantee Scheme, which made it possible for, innovative businesses like ours to get access to funding without really having to show a lot of collateral. So that really gave us a good jump start to start our project. And the other thing was, I think, like in Bhutan, the filmmakers and everybody, they really wanted to go digital because of all the challenges that the ecosystem
Yes.
had. So I felt, that everything came together at the right time. And I also felt that especially for SAMU, which for international participants, SAMU means cloud in a natural language Songkar. So, for SAMU, it was, I think for me, it was really clear that when we started this, this has to be more than a business. It has to be a platform for collaboration and partnership.
Right.
And that's the approach that we've had right from the beginning. So we decided that, we wanted to do a project where partnership and collaboration was in the heart of what we do. And that's how we worked with everybody. Today, in the last, like this is over a year since we actually started operations. And this is the 8th month since we went live with our platform. And I'm very proud to share with you all, that we have been able to create over 80 original content. And we've worked with over 800 people in the creative industry. So I do feel, that if we collaborate and if we partner with people, then we can achieve so much in so little time. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks so much for
That's
sharing,
very,
Ozam.
very
I was
true.
waiting to see if you would actually claim, the success of SAMU, because I was like, I can hear you being so modest and saying, oh, by luck, this, that, this, that. People don't realize how hard you had to work, the number of sleepless nights, what really
Yes.
went into this, So I'm glad, and Tashidele on SAMU becoming so popular and so successful and giving Bhutanese an option. So, Okamandiki, you've heard the journey of SAMU. I mean, you've seen it from a distance now.
Yes.
Would you
Yes.
do you want to share? Do you want to
Yes.
comment? Yes.
Yes, sure. It's a very good opportunity to meet Zam. I mean, like almost like personally, we are face to face, because I heard about SAMU, and since we are all engaged in our own challenges, so we didn't find a time. I always wanted to know more about SAMU, but of course I know this is a OTT platform, and given many opportunity for this unemployed youth who are involved in so many small projects like documentary, short films, and to the feature films. So I have seen through all social media, but now hearing it from you about this SAMU, this is very, very encouraging, and I mean, it should have been there before I came to United States, and I wouldn't have struggled so much, taking my movies, and then I don't know like where to launch my productions, and then and I must say that this is a great, I mean, first of kind, as Namge said, a contribution to the film industry is that okay, for the youth, I mean, for the young filmmakers, that they don't have to struggle. And in this process of working with SAMU, they already gaining exposure, and then going, outside Bhutan. Like, of course, SAMU is more like same level to the Netflix, because I recently did an assignment on the Netflix CEO Reed Hatzing because we have to research on all it. On all these CEO, the pioneer business, heads, how the good quality, I mean, good leadership's quality should be. So then I was doing a research on this Netflix CEO. So from there, I found, like how challenges he went through, ups and downs in the business, to hold that Netflix as a signature, a trademark for his career. So I think the same must have gone through Nima, and I know giving opportunity to people, then they don't see your your hardship that you have invested all to build up this platform for the youth. So on behalf of many filmmakers and myself. Thank you so much. And I'm also looking forward to take an opportunity on this SAMO platform. And I'm thinking, like, what should I go with, my proposal to you, like, okay, what should I do with SAMO? Like, there are so many things going on, and I should take opportunity to be on SAMO as a filmmaker, since I'm still learning. I'm not like, what people think that, oh yeah, established filmmaker, no, they will not do this or not do that, but I'm very much interested to participate, as one of the maker. Thank you.
You've had experience filming both inside Bhutan as well as outside Bhutan, right? Mountains to Oceans was filmed completely in the United States. What are the differences in the experience, and what do you, does one experience is one experience better than the other? Could you just share this with us, La?
Yes. As a filmmaker, like, our powerful voice is like when you say, in an open space, you have all your crew, all your cast on the set, and then you go like, okay, action, So that was the voice I had when I was in Bhutan. So when I came to United States and shooting this Mountains to Ocean, we were like very limited facility, because this is very expensive to hold a crew in New York, in a place, where you have to get every permit, every street, like you have to get the permit from the mayor office, and there are so many do's and don'ts that you have to know the rules. Where in Bhutan, we just point the camera everywhere, like 360 degree, and nobody says anything. Like, whoever, when you swing the camera, whoever comes on the screen it's your property. But here, like, you have to be very, very careful with showing the signs, and then using a public property, a private property. There are so many things that you have to know, and also then you don't have that voice that I used to be very commanding. People say I'm Hitler, I'm so stubborn, and I'm so strict with my own work that I don't see many other suggestions. So then I always go with my vision. So I was that kind of personality I carry in Bhutan, and when I'm in New York shooting Mountain to Ocean, I didn't have that voice. So there were so many controversies and so many things that didn't work out as how I expected, but I must thank to all the cast and the technical who came from Bhutan, who have contributed. But we have a very beautiful footages that is with mayor office in New York City, because there is a grand competitions for women filmmakers, women story, a very good story. Content, women oriented, and also the film that is shot in New York. So I have applied my proposal since last year, so I've been waiting for a year now, and then the result is going to come out in this March, and I'm praying that I win that grant, so that I have to elaborate a little bit on that the Mountains to Ocean. Then I have more voice inside me after joining this WIFT International and meeting with all these wonderful women. Even in a developed country, they face the same challenges as we in Bhutan. So then it made, and then I have learned so much. Okay, no, this is how I should portray myself as a filmmaker. Not as a as a, I don't consider myself as a role model for right now, because I have so many things to do to claim myself as a good filmmaker, because through a few feature films that I have learned, and I have given a space in between to learn what I can improve in my next project. So this is how I have given gap in between Mountain to Ocean to release to the public. To hold the money on the movie is very tough when you face a financial crisis in your life. And as Sonam has 3 sons, and I don't know, Nima, and we all are mothers, so I have 4 children back home waiting for me, and I've been here like six years taking this journey into filmmaking and trying to learn, like what things I should learn before I go back home, and then I'm like well equipped. to challenge this as a filmmaker. And I never realized my age, going up, because I myself, in a mind, I'm like very young, and I'm with Bhutan, we have all young staff, young members, all fresh graduate, and I feel in their age, like, okay, I'm learning something. So it's all like every day is excitement working with Sonam, and we have a young graduate executive director, and we have the board members who are all like young graduates. So I'm the only one as a mother role in the group. But then as a filmmaker, I'm very young at heart, and like, okay, I really want to learn so many, the youth, how they, their expectations from our industries, like how we should grow, because they have a very innovative mind, that they need such platforms like, okay, WIFT Bhutan, like SAMO, and then many, I'm expecting even our FAB, Film Associations of Bhutan, which I have never given up since I registered with them. And I'm trying to complement our WIFT Bhutan to them as a woman's contribution to the industry. So I hope that we can complement to them, and we can grow strong together, because since we have same missions and same objective, that we want to help other young filmmakers, and we grow with them and leave behind a very memorable, very remarkable projects. And this year, as Namgi said, that I forgot to mention, and very big congratulations to Mr. Pao, that Bhutan is now on Oscar, in the best 5, right? We are on the best 5 in selection. So very, very, very proud. Now Bhutan will be known through this film. And I told Sonam, our vice president of WIFT Bhutan, okay, now we must do something, because now everyone knows Bhutan on Oscar level. For us, when we came with the movie, even though it's not like Oscar-winning movie, but we say this is international. We have international movie, and so excitement. And now our Bhutanese movie is on the Oscar level, so it's a big opportunity for us to introduce ourselves, with that pride. Okay, this movie is on Oscar, so it's we are in a same family. It's very proud moment for us to, and that's very grateful to Mr. Paul for
Good luck to you as well. Hoping that we
Thank
hear
you.
good news from the mayor's office, so that we can see mountain.
Yes, that's a big amount. I can really make over the ones that we left incomplete, in terms of technical, like there are so many narrations to be done, and I was hesitant of should I tell the true story about me, what I'm doing out here, or should I was worried about kind of like controversies to face that. I wish, I always look up to you, Namge, and then when Sonam says, Namge says yes, as a moderator, and I was like, okay, good, and then Yimasam, and then she said yes, and okay, now we have all this powerful women together. So we have so many, as you said, like diverse experiences in our life, in our career. So all together we have one same goal to achieve, and I hope in future, like, we can collaborate projects to strengthen our organizations together.
Let me bring in Sonam now, who's the vice president. So Sonam, how did you decide that you wanted to join WIFT Bhutan and become a part of this? Sonam, you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry. I got a call from one morning. I got a call from Deki, and then she was like, Sonam, I'm planning to start this. Will you be interested? And then I said, like, I directly said yes, of course, why not? It's for women, and and then for women filmmakers. And then I've been in that shoe, and I know, like, if we have something like WIFT, it'll not only help us, but it will take us away from Bhutan in terms of platforms and all that. So I was like, yeah, sure, definitely, I'll be there to help you out in every possible measures I can. So that we she said, okay, then we will work on it. Let's work. Let's try and then register ourselves with also CSO in Bhutan. So we're currently doing the registration process and all that.
Process. Oh,
Hopefully
good luck
it'll
with
be
that.
good. Thank
Good
you.
luck with that. I have my fingers crossed for you guys on that. But Sonam, I wanted to know, because you come from this generation in between, right? When it comes to filmmaking in Bhutan, as a woman filmmaker, did you ever feel a little isolated or a little lonely? And is this why you jumped at the chance when someone like Deki called you and said, "Oh, do you want to be a part of this? That maybe you need this kind of support and solidarity and other women to support you." Was it something like that, or what was it like for you?
Let me share you one experience. I mean, I've been shooting a lot of documentaries, and then I have to go away for like weeks. And when I do that, sometimes in the whole crew, I'll be the only female. I mean, I'll have male cameraman, male assistant, and then it'll just be me. I mean, then I'll have to ask my husband to come along. Why don't you? If I have a woman filmmaker, a woman cameraman, woman, assistants, it'll be like a really great help. And then it'll be, even when you look at it, also like if you have some, if it's not just 1 to 100. I mean, and if you just have like 5-6 women in a 5-6 women, then it will be like a very positive. And when Ma'am Kamadiki said, Sonam, let's do that, then I was like, yeah, because it will not just give us opportunity to make film, but it will help us inspire other young women filmmakers. I mean, give them opportunities, skills that they require. Because for me, I was lucky because I got a scholarship from Minister of Labor, and then 26 of us were sent to study filmmaking in Philippines. And out there, I was the only girl studying filmmaking. Rest were actors and actress.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the only girl studying filmmaking. So, I mean, if we have such opportunities in Bhutan, I'm sure we'll have more young women coming in, wanting to learn filmmaking. Why not? I mean, be a director and even cameraman. I mean, I do know a few editor, but I've not really seen. I mean, there's just one camera woman that I know of. But if we have, if we give them opportunity to learn, then I'm sure there will be a lot. So the WIFT will bring such platforms. That's why I mean, like, we should not keep this out. We should bring this in, and then I was like, I jumped on the opportunity.
The one camera woman you were mentioning actually joined. I saw her join our panel. Upasna Dahal, hello. She's here. Yeah. But Ozam, one question before I take in questions. I believe we have 2 questions, but I want to ask Ozam, because Ozam's situation is a little different, where she is the boss, like so it's but still, even though she's the boss, I want to ask, what's the situation like in your field now? You're a streaming platform. Do you feel like what's the gender representation like in your area?
Nambi, like, for Samu, I think we always were very conscious, that when we started Samu, that we really needed to change the way films were being made in Bhutan. And also the fact that most of the stories in Bhutan are very male-dominant stories, It's always about the hero. And we wanted to change that also. So if you look at the kind of content that we've been creating in Samu, the kind of stories that we've been making, it's a little different than how mainstream films are being made at the moment in Bhutan. We have a lot of female-led stories, We have very strong female characters in our films, and we've been very conscious about it. And we've also been encouraging a lot of women to come forward to work as screenwriters, as directors, and there are not many of them right now. It's not, I think, it's not about that opportunity was not given, or there is any kind of disparity.
Yes,
Also, it's because, I think most women never saw themselves as somebody who could go actually behind the camera, or, behind the process of filmmaking. They always thought the career was, for women would be only limited to as an actor, right? So we want to change
Yes.
that. We're doing that slowly, consciously. But I think, it is not going to be something that we'll be able to achieve overnight. It is definitely going to take a lot of time and effort
Yes.
because we have to start from the basics. That means we'll have to skill more women. We have to give more opportunity to women. And we are trying to do that at the moment with many of our films. But as an organization in SAMU, what I'm very happy to share with is that we do have a good balance of men and women. And in fact, I think a majority of our team leaders are women in SAMU. And we do feel that that's important as a female-led organization also, because we do feel that a lot of organizations in Bhutan, although they do have a lot of women, they do not necessarily, again, have women in leadership positions. And we are trying to do things a little differently at SAMU, and not just in the way we operate, but also the way we work with people in the industry. And I feel like, especially for the future, there will definitely be a lot of opportunities, not just for women, but also for people from the other gender to be represented in our films. And I think one of the people who can do that, I feel is definitely women. Women, I think we are conscious of a lot of things. We are more mindful, we are more compassionate. We want to tell stories from different people. And we do feel, that the future is definitely there for women creators and women filmmakers. And all of us, like with platforms like ours, like SAMU, organizations like the Women in Film and Production, those kind of organizations, all of us together, collaboratively, we can probably make a big difference in the future of
Yes.
women in films and productions.
Yes. I totally
Definitely,
agree.
also wonderful to hear you share that. I think it's always amazing to see women leading, because then you see that it has a spillover effect on everything else that you seem to be doing. At this point, because you're almost, we're almost touching the 1 hour. We have like about 10 minutes, so we're going to take in questions from Regina. She tells me she has 2 questions. Regina, do you want to come in and share the questions? Maybe one question first, and then the second question after.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a few, in fact. So
Okay.
I will just bring in the first one. Which advice would you give to young filmmakers that are starting off in the film industry? And that question is to any of you.
Okay. Kamadiki, do you want to say?
Okay.
You could have all 3 of you react to this.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, being me, I mean, as a senior most, so yes, to start your career in the film industry, so you have to be very passionate about your work. It's not just the glamour that you see, as a like in the post as a woman figure. Okay, you look so beautiful. You are so much like a decorated a doll. Like it's not something like that. Being a technical as a maker, you have to be very strong and brave to challenge this career, if you're really interested into becoming a filmmaker, because this journey is, I must say, this is very, very, very challenging and very tough for every one of us. I mean, to be a filmmaker, it's not like any other career, because you have to lead your team, and you have to know every aspect of technical that makes a piece of art. So if you are prepared, and if you are well educated in terms of making films, a good film, so I must say, you can anytime join, but then you have to set your mind that, okay, I'm going to become a filmmaker, and no matter what comes on my way, I'm going to challenge it. Because as a woman, we always say like we can do it, but then as a woman you have so many sacrifices in your life. When you join this career, you are young, and then after that you get married, you have your children, and then there are so many things that you have to balance between that. Your husband has to be so understanding about your career, because you are in a very different odd time. You're working in different places, and you're working with all these men around you. So there are so many things that you have to research, and you have to know yourself. And if you are ready to put yourself in that competitions, and then yes, you're most welcome. And I wish everyone who wants to become a filmmaker. Thank you.
So
Sonam, what about you? What about Ozam? Okay, go ahead, Ozam. Yeah.
Okay, all right. From my side, what I would like to share with upcoming new filmmakers or women who are interested to be part of the film industry is that number one thing that you really need to have, is a strong determination. Because like I just shared, it's not going to be an easy journey. But the most important thing is you need to have passion, you need to have talent, and you need to be able to work hard, focus, and be a very beautiful, a very good, talented storyteller, and also have this very open, mindset about learning as you go, learning from your peers, learning from the people in the industry, and be open to feedback, be open to criticism, because I feel like,
Yes.
for filmmakers, it's always that you'll never ever be able to reach a point where you think, this is your masterpiece, your masterpiece is probably the next project that you'll be doing. So that's the kind of work we are in. So you have to be open, to feedback, to suggestions, and continuously believe that you'll be creating your next best work. It'll be the next one. That's how it should go.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, wonderful words from you, Ozam. Yeah, definitely. Sonam, what about you? Do you want to weigh in as well?
Yeah, I would say that the most important thing is like how determination and of course following your dream, because there are times when, especially for documentary filmmakers, there are times when you will be filming one documentary for over 3-4 years, and then you are stuck, you're nowhere to go. But then you'll have to have the determination, and you should be able to spend more time, and also like when you are starting it off, nobody will say filmmaking is a profession, because you're not making the required amount of money that you're supposed to make. Because in the beginning, there's no money at all. I mean, there are a few, but not as required. But then that time, people will say, why don't you find a good job? It's not. But if you follow your dream, and if you know what you want to do, then you should definitely take it up and then stick to it. You just have to stick to it.
Persevere, definitely. Regina, I think we'll take the last question now because we're almost touching the hour mark.
Yes, what is your dream in relation to WIFT International, to the global WIFT community? What can WIFTI, the global network, do for you? What do you dream about in that regard?
Who wants to go first?
Can I share?
Okay. Yes,
Sure,
yes.
Ozam,
I
go
think
ahead.
Yuma.
I think for Bhutan, like I shared, that capacity building is definitely one area that is very important. And I do feel like, from WIFT, if it's possible, we would like to see, well established and good filmmakers, women filmmakers from other parts of the country who are your members, to actually come to Bhutan and to conduct workshops or master classes, or even, maybe come here and work with us, for 6 months or more. And that's what probably, I personally from Samu, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks, Ozam. Deki or Sonam, who wants to go next?
Yes, I'll add on Nimazam's offer. I mean, that's a good opportunity for, I think, even for all the WIFT over in a different countries. Bhutan needs this interactions with the other filmmakers to come to Bhutan and then work with our filmmakers, and then we can share our ideas and we can collaborate in terms of making films or documentary or any short films. So that would be very interesting program, exchange, I mean, you know, your creative work. So that's how I think WIFT objective is also kind of that. And then I hope WIFT Bhutan can build this bridge between the international WIFT, I mean, from different countries to SAMU, and then we can work in collaborations.
Thanks, Deki. Sonam?
WIFT Bhutan, I mean, the main objective of WIFT Bhutan, one of the main objectives is to capacity building of Bhutanese filmmakers, because we don't have film school here, and to go outside and study, it's like very expensive.
Very
so
expensive.
if we are planning to bring in have master classes. Of course, there are master classes online and all that, but to have it in our own setting, it'll be a lot more space to learn, I feel. And I mean, and also to have filmmakers know the kind of festivals that we want to put our films into, because recently I went to pitch my documentary, and then when I went there without any knowledge about how to do it and what to do when I'm there. But after reaching there, after talking to other filmmakers, I got to learn about the things that I'm supposed to do. So that way, I think, like, if we give opportunities to the young filmmakers, I'm sure, and then explain to them, then I'm sure, I mean, this will be really helpful to the youths. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. So Helene, Regina, and everybody who's part of the WIFT, I think you know what Bhutan needs from you and wants from you. So thanks for letting me moderate this panel. Helene, I'm handing this back to you.
Thank you very much for an excellent moderation, Namgai. You're a trailblazer, and I must say that passion,
yes, she is.
determination, and the open mindset you all have shared and gave us this journey to Bhutan and Bhutan filmmaking. It's a big honor for WIFTI to have you as members, and thanks a lot for this webinar. And it feels historical, and I'm only proud and grateful. So thanks a lot, and good luck with everything, and we will meet along the road. So goodbye, everybody, and enjoy the day.
Stay safe, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.